PvP on this map, where it was basically battlecruiser on battlecruiser action. So, we'll see how he does in a pretty different matchup against a Zerg. And so he is me spawning in the bottom left position here. This is PSiArc, who is currently down 1 game to his orange Zerg opponent, who is Glistal from Team Energy. So we'll see who wins and whether or not PSiArc can bring back a win and tie up the series. If you're just joining us, thank you so much. I am Pyronia, and with me is my co-caster Phegan, and we are both with rhgaming.com. Our hosts for the evening are Zeke.com, so that's Z33K.com, and I believe our admins for the evening are Aldrich Black and Frieza.
So this map does only have 2 spawn positions, so they know where each other are right at the moment. I don't know if that's going to play into any sort of early aggression, but at least they have knowledge of where they are. There's no scouting, so we won't see any sort of early scouts.
Yeah, based on how Glistal played last time, he did go hatch first, but he was very ready to put on early pressure if needed, it seemed like to me. He did get some lings early. So, I think that he could go either way depending on what he sees with his opponent. So even though he knows where his opponent is, he is sending out an early drone scout here. So, so far we've seen PSiArc. I think most of the games we've seen him play, he has gone a Reactor Hellion build.
And we are seeing hatch
so
first.
I wouldn't see that again.
So that was a 15 hatch coming down for Glistal. And no sign of a pool yet. This is actually a fairly long travel distance. So for him to be able to push his Marines up, especially because he didn't proxy, push Marines and go for any sort of bunker play, it's going to be a long walk. So Glistal may see it coming, so he kind of feels safe delaying that pool. He's still just... There's the pool. So we saw an 18 pool. So 15 hatch, 18 pool.
Alright, and so the little drone has gotten stuck in the base again. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go and do another gas steal.
Absolutely. He doesn't have a tree to hide behind this time, so he's not going to be safe behind his little tree, reading his little book while waiting for his health to regenerate. And there he goes. He does save the worker with the gas steal. So that drone was just about dead. Probably one more shot would have killed him, but now he's morphing into an extractor.
Alright, and back to how proactive Glistal is. So just like split seconds before his hatchery had finished, he sent down some drones here to transfer, so they were ready to go. Just really nice, planning.
Absolutely.
I think he just has things really timed out very well.
Oh, we have a Roach Warren. But PSiArc is going to see it, because he does have that SCV in the base still. So we have a Roach Warren coming down. This may be just preventative, considering he's fully expecting the reactored Hellions. I'm interested to see if PSiArc changes things up, since he does see that Roach Warren. He also is putting his expansion down as natural, which he didn't do in any of his other TVZs. He actually built it in his main, and then floated over to the natural. So that's interesting that it is going in his natural. He must feel safe with the travel distance between the 2 bases.
Alright, and he is going to proceed to get some Hellions. He may or may not choose to harass with them, though, like he did last time. He might just be purely using these for unit, or for map control. A couple of Hellions going around the map, it's really easy for them to clear out Xel'Naga towers, check for expansions, things like that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe that path a little bit more. However, we're seeing less defense at home just because there are these roaches out. So I think Glistal thinks that he doesn't necessarily need to have the sort of choke management that he did last game.
So he does have one roach grabbing the Xel'Naga tower. And we do have the Hellions coming around the back through the natural third. So they are hanging out at the natural third right now, and they are coming in. But he does have 2 roaches there, so he should be able to deal with these Hellions pretty easy. So we have the other 2 coming up. So we're going to see 4 Hellions kind of hanging out and pushing. Only 2 roaches still. We do have 2 more coming up, as well as Zerg Speed is about to finish. PSiArc is getting stim, so that's about halfway done. And there we go. He is swapping his factory onto a tech lab and building another barracks on his reactor. So it looks like he's going to go into a very standard marine tank build. And we do
and I think that's what he did last time too.
Yep.
However, Listal is staying one step ahead, so he's ready for this. He is taking his third, and he is also maintaining a lead on workers too.
He does have his Evo chamber just finished, and he is getting +1 melee attacks, so he is going to kind of transition back into Zerglings, as opposed to staying with a large number of roaches. He's really just using roaches to protect from the Hellions.
Yeah, and he has been doing a nice job of keeping map control. So he has this Ling up here, the natural, or the third, and then he also had a Ling sort of hiding behind the natural of PSiArc. So he's doing a really good job of just keeping map control here.
As well as he does have a Overlord positioned perfectly right over the exit ramp to from PSiArc's natural. So he's going to see any sort of pressure coming long before it actually becomes a problem.
Yeah, and so this is just something that's different compared to the previous Zerg we saw PSiArc take on, which was Zeke. So Listal is just getting his overlords positioned around the map so he can see for drops, things like that. So it'll just have really good map visibility, and that forewarning allows him to move his units back versus having to overreact and create more units.
So we do have the hive starting, as well as a spine crawler is being created somewhere, right in the mineral line of the
lair?
third. I'm sorry, lair.
Okay, just checking.
That's a fast hive. That was a hive, I'm sorry. We do have a lair coming down. As well as 22 Zerglings are coming out. Currently, Listal is in a good position with drones. He was ahead by about 15. Now he's only ahead by 5 because he started going to actual unit production. But he does have a lot of Lings on the map. He has 37 Lings on the map currently.
Well, in the last game he won with just Lings.
He did.
And it was against the same unit composition. It was against Marine Tank. So I think that, I'm not sure what PSiArc thinks is going to be different this time around because he also has some roaches in there.
Yep.
But I think this could be pretty dangerous for PSiArc.
Yeah, this is the exact same timing push that we saw from PSiArc in the first game. Exact same unit composition, except for the Hellions are hanging out with the Marines. But there are tons of Lings on the ground already, as well as the roaches that are in there, and the spine crawler in the mineral line of the third.
And we also have a
the Hellions are going to get caught out of position, and the Zerglings look like... Oh, the Zerglings are just going to engage. They're going to be able to get the surround on most of these units and clean them up fairly... and actually, this is pretty close. We do have more Zergling reinforcements coming in, and that's going to clean it up very easily. So...
Yep, and then we have the Spire on the way, and right now, PSiArc isn't really equipped to handle Mutalisk. He does have an eBay up, but he's not starting any turrets, so timing-wise,
he does have time, though. I mean, those...
really...
Actually...
Yeah, but not that much.
No, the Spire's actually almost done.
He needs to start building his turrets now.
Absolutely.
If he wants to be ready for it.
So, yeah, I thought the Spire was almost just started. The Spire is finishing right now, so he's going to be able to get... he doesn't have a ton saved up. He's actually only going to be able to get 3 Mutalisks out right away. So he didn't save up a ton of gas to get those mutas. But he does have 6 extractors right now, as well as a macro hatch. So he is going to have a large amount of gas coming in.
And we do see a little drop coming down around here. It looks like it's going to be going up and trying to hit the third. However, there is, a spine crawler, a couple of roaches, and 2 queens there. So the drop's not going to be terribly effective, and it's going to be spotted by this overlord and this Ling here.
Actually, it parked right under the overlord, so he's ready to handle this. The units probably won't even land. And wow, they're going to get cloned up very easily. And that medevac does go down. It barely just it almost squeaked out, but unfortunately, it did not make it out.
Alright, and we have 5 Mutalisks on the map, and we still don't have any turrets.
We do have...
Looks like there was some Ling harass over here that took out some stuff.
We do have the armory created, so we could see some Thors coming up, but Thors take a while to produce. So, I mean, any sort of Mutalisk harass coming in now, the Thors are not going to be even remotely ready to deal with.
Mutalisk into the main, so they're going to be going for the main mineral line, and he'll probably do it in conjunction with the Lings over here.
Yes.
So he'll be able to have a 2-prong attack.
So he's going to be able to push this pretty good. We do have 3 tanks sieged up, so the Lynx may have a little bit of trouble getting up there, but if those Mutalisks are effective and pull the Marines back, it actually... Oh, that is a lot of Banelings. How many Banelings? Oh, that's only 12. Okay, that's not nearly as a lot as I thought. So it looks like he's just sending a couple links into the 3rd to see what's there. It is a tank, and that is 19 Marines. And we do have a whole bunch of turrets coming up now for PSiArc. So he's going to start to prepare for those Mutalisks. He has lost 7 workers. I assume the majority were to actual Mutalisks. So, but it's not a huge amount of damage from those Mutas.
Well, and so this goes back to how Lisalo seems like he's sort of one step ahead from PSiArc. So PSiArc there didn't build the turrets until after he saw the Mutalisks and was trying to hold them off. And so at this point, now Lisalo started his hive, so he'll probably be changing into something else now. And he's getting Banelings, so he's just staying one step ahead of what the possible counters are. And he's doing a really great job of, scouting here. He's sacrificing some overlords, so he's getting good intel. He knows what his partner has.
He does have
his opponent has.
He does have his 4th completed, so he's going to start sending some drones down to saturate that. So he is going to be 1 base ahead of the Terran. I assume we're probably going to see a Broodlord transition. It would only make sense. But last time I said that, we ended up seeing Ultras. Oh, nope, Greater Spire already started. So we are going to see a Broodlord transition. But PSiArc is actually going to be ready for this. The Ghost Academy has already been finished, and Mobius Reactor has been started. So we are going to see some sniping of those Broodlords if he can get out enough ghosts.
Yeah, ghosts are pretty expensive, and I don't know that PSiArc's going to really have... Well, I guess he's banking gas, but he doesn't have a refinery up on, his surge, so he's not at full gas production or... Alright, so we do see another little drop over here that's going to get intercepted again.
Actually, he ended up wasting a couple Banelings on that. I think it took like 2 Banelings on 1 Marine. So that wasn't an ideal engagement.
Well, at this point, he's probably to the point where he actually needs to free up supply.
That's true. He does need to free up the supply for those Corruptors and turning them into Broodlords. So the
yeah,
Greater Spire...
building a few Infestors as well.
The Greater Spire is about to finish. So we are going to see some Broodlord morphing very, very soon. And we do actually have a little push from Terran. A whole bunch of Marines and tanks, but they are going to be met unsieged by the Zerglings. So the Baneling hits are almost perfect. That's going to... Oh, and those Banelings wiped everything out. Wow.
Ouch.
That is so many units dead. He just caught completely out of position. None of the tanks are sieged. He was not ready for that whatsoever. And
yeah, that was pretty devastating. So if we look at the supply here, we're down to 131 for our Terran. We're at almost max for our Zerg. And we've got 9 more Corruptors on the way, which those are become Broodlords. So he's already got 5 Broodlords. He's taking his, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th base over here.
I'm not surprised that we're seeing a ton of Spine Crawlers go down now. He's at the point where he has enough drones to keep all the majority of his bases saturated. So he's going to make a ton of Spine Crawlers just for good protection, in case of counterattacks and various drops. And he doesn't need any more drones. And he actually needs to free up that so he can get a bigger army.
Alright, and it looks like PSiArc's trying to take his expansion here, but unfortunately, behold, a huge Zerg army is there ready to intercept.
Oh, and here come the snipes. That was an excellent fungal on those ghosts. It looks like he is going to be able to almost clean up all those Broodlords. Oh, that was a beautiful, beautiful fungal right there. Got the majority of the Marines, and they are fairly low health.
Yeah,
and
he was trying to EMP those Infestors, but his two EMPs both missed all the Infestors, so they weren't effective, unfortunately.
And there's the GG.